Hi, I'm Ethan Cain, and welcome to my presentation, The Effects of Race, Social Class, and Athletics on Public Schooling, where we will be assessing the question, what can we, my composition and culture class, learn about the role of race, social class, and athletics on education growing up from my narrative, an African American male with a lower social class who played multiple sports. Although they may be concealed, the aspects of race, social class, and athletics have a major influence on the treatment and opportunities a student receives, negative or positive, depending on the situation and how the student chooses to respond. With many of us having experience in the public school system, we can acknowledge the stereotypes and opportunities that exist. Depending on a student's appearance and what activities or people they associate themselves with, can impact the way they are treated. These treatments, which can be from other students, teachers, and even administrators, can impact their performance in the classroom or on the field. This has an overall impact on their future, as it impacts their opportunities to further their education or sport of choice. While every student is responsible for their own success and choices, they can be affected by the words and actions of others. The public school system has always used race or appearance as a way to judge one's intelligence, gauging their ability to be successful from a young age. In a study by Amber Green, she found that African American students account for 25% of students identified with an EBD, despite only 16% of students in the entire school population in the United States. Therefore, this judgment can range from their expected behavior or activities that they are involved in, and not to mention their race. This shows how they are thrown into categories based on their skin color and not given an equal opportunity from the start. Teachers and students admit to disciplining African American students for actions that white students did not get disciplined for. In the same study, she found that K through 12 teachers were more likely to label a black student as a troublemaker in need of harsh discipline compared with a white student exhibiting the same behavior. These findings have crucial implications of the educational outcomes of students of color exhibiting undesired behavior, especially when considering teachers' interpretations of student contribute to teachers' decision making regarding discipline and the special education referrals. This sums up the categorization and stereotypes of race in the education system. Generally, students of a lower social class are assumed to be less intelligent than their peers of higher social standing, despite actual genetic intelligence or grades. In a study by Rains, with selective attrition, SES, and age all statistically controlled, education produced significant increases in the scores of both black and white students, those who were college bound as well as those who were not, on a test of general cognitive ability. This shows that despite one's opportunities and social class, they can be just as intelligent as others, and that college does not define one's intelligence, nor do their grades in school. This stereotype is even furthered when race is added. Lower class African American students are expected to be much less intelligent than higher class white students. In another study by Gugis, found that African American participants' performance faltered on a cognitive task when negative stereotypes about African Americans were primed. Similarly, Steele and others have undertaken a series of studies that demonstrate decreased levels of performance when participants are asked to perform a task that measures some aspect of a negative stereotype about themselves, as when African Americans are asked to perform a task that will measure actual intellectual abilities. These stereotypes can diminish a student's confidence and impact their grades despite their actual genetic intelligence. That is why it is important for education and public school systems to eliminate the impact of social class on the way students are treated by schools and others. A student's social class has a correlation with the amount of opportunities available to them inside and outside of the classroom. While low social class may indicate less opportunities, they frequently capitalize on the ones they are presented and are successful. Students of a low financial standing have inaccurate labels placed on them in the classroom and outside of the classroom. These students typically have little academic or financial support. In a study by Seaver and Hunter, research demonstrates that poverty is a significant contributing factor to low test scores and low graduation rates from high school and college. Middle class students retain a distinct advantage with more access to educational resources advanced placement courses, and higher education. This supports the idea that higher class students typically have more opportunities than those of the lower class. Studies also show that students that have parents with a 4-year degree have a much higher chance of going to further their education and a much higher chance of graduating from college than those without a parent that has been to college. Athletes are typically seen as unintelligent jocks by students and fellow classmates, as they assume that they put all of their effort into their sport and disregard academics. According to sources and studies, student athletes actually perform just as well, if not better, than non athletes, making this a very false label. In a study by Chang, he says extracurricular school based sport participation has been recognized as an integral component of academic success during the past decade. In addition to physical health benefits, school sport participation brings about positive effects on students' academic performance, leading to improved grades, standardized test scores, and classroom behavior. This can be for many reasons. However, a main reason is that athletes are pushed to have high grades in order to stay eligible to play. This also gives athletes a reason to do well in school and avoid criticism by others who may judge them for their academic efforts. Overall, athletics has a positive impact on grades and morale. Athletes are also known to typically be energetic in and out of school, especially during their season, which many attribute to their increase of academic effort. In a study by Nunez, variables such as parental educational support, the positive attitude of the teachers, and the motivation of the children in relation to the school are fundamental factors for a good academic performance. Along with an increased academic performance, studies show that athletes actually have a higher self confidence and morale than non student athletes. In a different study by Chang, improved academic performance, research has noted that the school participation is linked to positive feelings about school, such as students' engagement with and attachment to their schools. Student engagement is defined as a psychological investment in an effort directed toward learning. This directed effort towards their school in hand increases their directed effort towards learning, since this takes place in school. This morale can be attributed to the positive reinforcement from teachers, students, parents, and others who encourage their participation in their sport of choice. In the same study by Chang, the concept of student engagement in school compromises a psychological component concerning students' sense of belonging at school and acceptance of school values, and a behavioral component regarding participation in school activities. Therefore, if a student feels included by playing a sport, they will have a higher morale while going to school, as they feel they are a part of a family and the school itself. These stereotypes, including race, social class, and my athletics, have been prevalent throughout my entire life. Many have underestimated my intellectual capabilities and what I can accomplish in life as a whole. Although I have lacked some opportunities that other students have due to my social class, I took full advantage of all the opportunities that were presented to me. This allowed me to still be successful in certain situations that others may have failed due to a lack of effort. Through my academic performance and athletics, which gave me an outlet to put extra time into that I thoroughly enjoyed, I was able to achieve many goals that I have set for myself, not only in athletics, but in academics as well. Overall, the use of labels and stereotypes can affect the student's experience in the school system, which can be a positive or negative impact depending on these factors. Despite these labels, a student can determine their success based off of their effort and taking advantage of the opportunities presented to them. No matter someone's appearance, social class, or activities they participate in, everyone is a factor in their own success. Some may just have a tougher path to achieve their goals than others.